All right, man. How are you doing?
Sorry for the false start.
No problem.
Okay,
It
there we go.
happens.
All right. Muchos apologies for the false start, guys. I'm hoping that this is better. I just had to drop the FPS down a bit. So, yeah, once I get a better, yep, I keep saying it. Hopefully by this week, it's sorted, right? So, just have to wait. I just have to sort this out by this week. Um, yeah. And wow, 6 of you in the house already. That's fast. That's cool. Okay, guys, I want to thank everybody for coming in today. So today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to look at the 4231. I'm going to have my earplugs in. I'm also connected on Twitch live stream. So if you want to pop in there for a chat, you can. In case I do mute myself as well. It's a great way for you guys to let me know. uh, and yeah. So Azaris is in the house. How are you, man, Azaris?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Good, good. Okay, so what we're gonna do today is basically do the same thing I did the last time, which is the 352 permutations and stuff like that. But we're gonna look at the 4231 now, and that's the goal. Now, the 4231 is a bit more. It's a bit tricky sometimes because some people have issues with the 4231. I'm just looking for the game that I was going to use, right? So let me find it. This is very annoying. I just had it just now, but I just did the Kingstonian save. And so I was doing my Kingstonian save, and I just thought I'd record Kingstonian just before I do this. And Kingstonian is definitely one of the fun things I like to do. Don't believe it. Where's my Torino? Chipper chipper chipper. All these saves are different. Um these are all fantasy draft challenges. We got too many now inside them. Okay, so let's see. Maybe it's here. Uses do 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 do.
Wait, are you streaming on Discord? Because I cannot see your screen.
Cannot see my screen. It should be on Discord.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, it's on Discord. Yep. If you click it on the Discord link, I just put it up on the Patreon exclusive videos link. You should see it there.
Oh, okay, that one. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's the place I'm in. Yeah, I'm just looking for my Torino save, man. I don't want to start Torino again. I know it's here somewhere. First up, I gotta find. Note to self: next year, when I do FM21, don't have so many. The problem is I have 4 hard drives. So when you have 4 hard drives, you tend to put them all over the place. But it can't be this hard drive. It's in C or E. No. I just had Torino, man, just now. Don't tell me I've got to start a new save. Users. Games. Just give me a second while I sort this out. My apologies to everyone. Yeah, okay. We'll just take one other team. I don't want to keep people waiting, right? So we'll just pick somebody. But I don't want to pick Liverpool either. Liverpool is just ridiculously good. I was hoping for Torino. Ah, there it is. It was staring at me all this time. I kept walking past it. Like sometimes you're looking for something in the house and you keep walking past it and it's just right there in front of you and you just get annoyed. Oh, that's exactly just what happened to me. Okay. Basically, let's talk about the 4231 first up, right? So I'm glad everybody popped in. I won't be able to see your chat just yet. I'm just gonna do this very quickly. Okay. Introducing the 4231. Now, the system itself is historically it's not a very old system, it's fairly new. However, it is a system that is also very funny. It's very peculiar because it's one of those systems that plays as this emphasis on attack because it's overloaded. I mean, or front loaded. I like to call this kind of tactics front loaded, meaning you've got more players. You've got quite a number of players in the attacking third in a lot of the transitions. So, for example, you play with a three-man attack, or rather a four-man attack. And the problem here is this role is so important. In the old days when we didn't have like high pressing, this 10 was able to move around the pitch and find pockets of space and be the playmaker that would play this kind of players in, right? Now, in a lot of the traditional systems, these guys used to be like outright wingers, right? Only in 2002, 2003, early 2000s when Arsenal was playing, did we see the emergence of the inverted wing, the inside forward or the inverted winger, most notably players like Thierry Henry. Even Sir Alex Ferguson used a system like this. Notably here, we'd have Paul Scholes playing in this role. And we'd have players dropping off, and this guy would be the important link player between attack and defense. Now, in order for this system to play really, really well, several preconditions need to be met, and it's been the case for all the 4-2-3-1s, right? First up, these two players. These two players are central to your system. They are the anchors of your tactic. Now, Jose Mourinho, Klopp, even Guardiola have talked about how this system can also be very sometimes can be the attacking punch can go very quickly. Why? Okay, I'll explain. See, the thing is here, you got these two players out they're holding, right? In most cases, so a lot of the attacking thrust actually comes from him, this one player. Now, the problem for a lot of these systems is sometimes in the modern systems, right, you have the DM. You got the 4 at the back. Okay, so now when you put the 4 at the back, what you get then is isolation, right? So you get the striker here, you got fullbacks here, and then you get your defenders here. Of course, the numbers are all wrong, so just ignore it for a while. So you got a DM here. Now, when the DM started, when a lot of sites started using the DM, this player started to struggle to find a lot of chances, which is over in the last couple of years, we see a lot of playmakers now starting their moves from here, because having a playmaker now here in any system where you have a DM, you're gonna struggle because you are forced into a situation where this player doesn't have the space. So what ends up happening, a lot of success, some teams have now become are beginning to find success with deeper DMs. So the DMs stay a bit deeper, this guy drops into the midfield strata, these guys shift up into midfield. All right, and then these guys become the anchors, right? So your shuttlers are now, so he now is further away from the DM, right? But this in turn shifts them up higher. So teams start shifting higher, but this is where teams like to use the inverted winger from a deeper position to drive at teams this way to unlock defenses, right? So he gets more room now to make those kind of passes. So when you are when people talk about struggling with a 4-2-3-1, I don't blame them, because the 4-2-3-1 is not an easy system to master. Furthermore, your 4-2-3-1, okay, we got other 4-2-3-1 variations, right? We got a lot of variations of the 4-2-3-1. I'm just going to cover a few, okay? So we've got the basic 4-2-3-1, right? Okay, this is the basic 4-2-3-1. But the moment these guys go attacking and support play, you're left with attacks are going to shift like this. Then you're left with a big problem in defense, which is the pocket of space that is on behind where the fullbacks have run. Okay, which means the opposition teams are waiting to do counter attacks from these positions. Right. So anytime these players go back, so the fullbacks always end up having to track back, right? The central midfielders are very important for picking up these kind of players. So the central midfielders have to be able to pick up the players that are going to exploit the space. So when you make a 4-2-3-1, you're going to have to, we always have to worry about, okay, what happens when my fullbacks go forward? Do I want my fullbacks to go forward? What do I do with the central players? Do I want to have one attack? Now this is another problem. Some players, I've seen tactics where they do this, right? So they play a defend duty, the defend duty drops in here, and the attack duty goes forward, right? Then what you end up getting is a problem in midfield where the playmaker now has got another player next to him, and both of them are trying to unlock sides, leaving you with another problem. Poor performances from a playmaker. So I've seen people do this, right? Attack. Now, lately, Liverpool have done something different with their 4-2-3-1. Right? Their 4-2-3-1 is very, very different. Okay. What happens is they don't rely on him to create chances. They rely on this player to move back, and this guy becomes more like a link player. All he does is link up and become second or third targets. What they actually end up doing is this. They end up playing slightly different, where the inverted wingback moves up, forms a 3, and now what you have is a player in this slot trying to unlock defenses as an inverted wingback. Do you call that the playmaking fullbacks, right? And so we got this player also being able to bomb down the flanks. This is Andy Robertson. So Liverpool lately with their 4-2-3-1s have started using Trent Alexander-Arnold as something like a playmaker, right? So I just wanted to draw your attention to all these before we begin. Okay, now I'm just gonna shut this tactical pad down. Okay, so I kind of like wanted you guys to understand the challenges that you can face when you want to use something like the 4-2-3-1. Okay, so let me just tweak everything now. Make sure I've got you guys on chat. Yeah, Ryan Kelly, that's what you've been doing. Oh man, I love. Okay, one of my 4-2-3-1s actually has that fullback, and I don't know when SI is gonna publish my article. The byline, I've spoken about a 4-2-3-1 in the byline as well. It's supposed to be a shorter one, but today's video, I'm hoping that I can cover more on that. So let's see. Okay, we've done this. We've gone to the team. So I'm gonna use Torino, right? Okay, I don't know what games we're playing, but we're gonna clear all this, clear all these slots. Whatever this tactic is, we're just gonna make one, right? Control possession 4-2-3-1 way. Okay, so just use the default tactic. Now let's work with defaults first, understand what's involved, and then we take it one step further. This is like looking at all the options available to you when you make a 4-2-3-1. But I want to start people off by asking, look at the defaults first, understand the team instructions that are in play, and then from there, you start getting a bit better, right? So like we've got another one here, Gegen Press. I think they have a 4-2-3-1 as well. Okay, all right, this is going to be fun. And create another tactic here. Let's go wing play. I think they have a 4-2-3-1. They should have a 4-2-3-1. No, they don't. Okay, we only want stuff that have got default ones, right? So vertical tiki taka might have a 4-2-3-1. I'm not sure. No, it doesn't have one. Oh, shish kebabs. Create tactics, see what else we got. Wing route 1, fluid counter attack. Now this might. Oh, they didn't give one for this as well. So let's see. Direct counter attack. Do we have one here? No, we don't. Cancel. Catenaccio. No, definitely not. Catenaccio will always have 5. Park the Bus will always have 5. So we got 2, right? So we got 2 of these tactics that come with a 4-2-3-1. We got 4-2-3-1 wide here with the tiki taka. Okay, I'm not sure I pick this. Okay, so we got Gegen, we got control possession, and we got tiki taka. We got 3 4-2-3-1s, right? All 3 4-2-3-1s will play differently. Okay, the first we understand the team instructions, right? Then we talk about roles and duties, and we talk about the last pieces of the puzzle. Okay, so how do we get control possession from this tactic? We start from here. Okay, never ever start from mentality. Okay, guys, you treat mentality as the last equation. Okay, first up, prevent shot goalkeeper distribution. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 players are gonna try and close down the goalkeeper when you place a shot. Okay, is it necessary? Control possession. They want to put pressure on the back line. Okay, there's one way of doing it. It's not entirely necessary. Do it only if your players can do it, right? Meaning your 2 players in the middle of the park are very, very good. If your 2 players are not very good, don't ever do this. Right, so you got prevent shot goalkeeper distribution. We got high defensive line, high line of engagement. Which high defensive line means these two guys are going to be more involved in the attacks. High line of engagement means we're closing down the opponent's third. Then we look at the roles and duties. Any pressing forwards here that will not obey? Okay, pressing forwards will not obey, right? They'll go and press as early as they can. Here, shorter passing is going to help us keep the ball playing on a lower tempo. So there's a lot of let's keep the ball and slowly get into position. Work ball into box encourages that, and then that's how we get our control possession style. Will it always give us a lot of goals? We don't know, because the thing about this style of football is that you are controlling possession. You're not necessarily going out there to score lots of goals, but you're trying to keep the ball effectively. And here in a system like this, when you start with this preset, you're really depending on individual players and their brilliance to craft you a lot of chances. Okay. Second one, again pressing. Again, let's talk about the differences here now. The basic difference is immediately that's going to be apparent to everybody is the higher urgency in pressing, because you've got a whole bunch of players running around the field like headless chickens trying to close players down. And what's worse is this is expansive, meaning there's no offside trap, right? There'll be space opening up all over the pitch, because the moment they close down everywhere without the offside trap, space will open up. Because when you have an offside trap, the trap pushes forward, you get compression. Is this a bad thing? Well, it depends on how good your team is. Work rate, acceleration, positioning, they have to have all these attributes to pull this off. Okay. Dangerous, yes. Then we have the goalkeeper, counter press to keep the possession, counter. This is basically Jurgen Klopp, right? So you basically, when you do counter press and counter, what you're doing is you're trying to win the ball back. You're trying to hit them over the top quickly. Take short kicks, distribute. We know what this is. Now this is pass into space. So this gegen pressing is full of risks, right? You win the ball back quickly, and before your players are even ready, you're banking on the players who are in the final third to do the jobs. So you got inside forward going this way, pressing forward going this way. So the moment you win the ball, you're looking for an opportunity to release a player. 50-50 mentality basically means that quite a number of your players are not going to be, some of your players are not going to be taking those risks. The ones who are taking the risks are the ones with a high mentality. Players like him, he's on attacking. Not players like him. Defensive. And then we look at the team fluidity and everybody else. Basically, there's like quite a number of players who are going to be on different mentality settings, right? He's on balance. He's probably on attack balance as well. So you got a couple of balance. You got to have a couple of defensive. Like this guy's defensive. This guy's going to be balanced as well, right? The only ones are the inside forwards who are going to be on attacking duty because of their role, right? This guy is also on attacking because of his role. So now in this tactic, you're going to have these guys making aggressive inside runs. He might be trying to help you build the play up, create some kind of overloads, and this guy is going to bomb down the flanks. So it's a very aggressive tactic. Very, very aggressive. Looking at unlocking sides. Can we make this better? Yeah, of course we can. What we do is you tell this joker to go far post straight away. Right, so now we're going this way. We're going to go aggressive. Not only that, we're telling him to cross the ball to the danger area, which is here. The moment he comes up, he doesn't. You can even tell him, right, okay, I want you to cross that. You can even do a bit of like small little, I don't want to call it cheating, but I have to. It's almost a cheat. The wingback automatic support, right? Okay, now guess what? He's going to follow your mentality, right? Earlier, he was wingback on attack. Right, so get further forward. Okay, we got a wingback on attack now. Yeah, you got your wingback on attack. Change this guy to attack. Get further forward. But now, I am not asking him to do the other stuff. So yeah, I don't like this instruction, but yeah, I've used it before. But I've done it in a couple of one-on-one matches, and I felt like I was cheating. So Yeah, I don't know. It can be done, right? So I'm not saying. I mean, the thing is here. Even one of the developers used it against me. So like, it must be there for a reason. Okay, so uh, pass into space, risky passes, right? Into space. Okay, we got that now. Let's look at this one. 4-2-3-1 white. Different system altogether. See the first one. Look at the way the roles and duties are working. Guy's gonna overlap. Okay, let's take this out again. Let's go back to the default one. Guy's gonna overlap. Guy's cutting inside. This guy's cutting inside. You got a lot of pressure going this way. You got AP that will be well suited to dropping back and doing something with the ball. He's gonna create a lot of issues. Box to box midfielder is gonna be roaming a bit, and he's gonna be going up and down. So you need somebody with very good work rate. This tactic very different. This is tiki taka. Now tiki taka systems are very famous for one thing. There'll be more than one playmaker in the system. You want to make a tiki-taka system, always use more than one playmaker. Okay. Now, the presets are using wingbacks, and it's something that to bear in mind. Wingbacks are generally a lot more aggressive than fullbacks. Now, when you use a wingback, he's going to bomb down the flanks. He's going to hug the line. He's going to be very aggressive. Use a fullback, he's going to be less aggressive than a wingback. So I actually am in more. I'm in favor of using the fullback more than the wingback, because when the wingback, remember earlier we spoke about how the wingbacks, when they bomb down the flanks in a 4-2-3-1, right? The notion here is, do you need wingbacks to be so attacking in a 4-2-3-1? Because if they're very attacking in a 4-2-3-1, they leave space. When they leave space, you open the counter, which is something that's happening to a lot of people who do play again pressing. They play a 4-2-3-1, they use the preset, and bang, they concede a few goals down the flanks, and they get very, very upset, and they think the game is broken. So my question to you is this. Now that I've explained it, can you see that happening in these tactics? They can. You see, these presets were not meant to be perfect. They all have flaws in them. They all have flaws. Every single preset is not perfect. They were never designed to be perfect. Our input went into the tactics, but we also didn't give the guys who created some of these presets were me. I created one of the presets too. One of the presets is mine. So of course, I mean, not entirely mine, because I had a lot of input in it and we shifted things around. But then again, would I as a creator, would I give my best preset out there? No, of course not. Because then the idea here is I don't think SI are going to give you the best presets, because then what's the point of being good at the game? If all you have to do is pick one and go and play, then there's no challenges there. So as a developer, they're not morally obligated to give you a perfect preset, which is the reason why I always tell people, when they play with any of these presets, the first thing you do is ask yourself how these presets work. So here, this preset is very Pep Guardiola. Counter press, hold shape, distribute quickly. It's all this very Guardiola. And again, it's tiki-taka. More short passing, lower tempo. Except here, we can argue, right? So the reason why it's lower tempo is because you want to get players in possession. So we're gonna play these as the presets, right? We're gonna play the presets as they are, right? And then we're gonna see what happens. So first things first, when you go into any of these tactics, the first thing you want to do is this. A 4-2-3-1 has obvious weaknesses. The weaknesses are always going to be in the middle here and the flanks, right? So your players are going to be bombing on the flanks. They're going to create a lot of opportunities, and you're going to look at your players themselves. Things like this. Tackling 10. Do you think you should be playing here? If his anticipation was 15 or 16 and his positioning is 15 or 16, I'll say I don't mind. But his anticipation is only 13, his positioning is only 12, which makes him, what, in English terms, a championship player for this position. Then we look at his traits. Let's ignore all this. Let's look and see whether he's got traits. Tries killer balls, often shoots from distance. Yeah, he's a playmaker. The game chose him because he has the traits, plus he has some of the attributes to play as a playmaker. So assuming you only have this kind of a player, then you have to pair him up with somebody who's got extremely good work rate, right? Hard tackling, very good positioning. This guy is also another average player, right? Dictates tempo, arrives late in opponent's area. With the CM defend duty, it shouldn't be much of a problem. If he's support, then you might have an issue. Okay, so we got Rincon here. Rincon, on the other hand, okay, aggression, 18. Competitive streak. Master of the yellow card, all right? But If I were to play him in this position, I'd be concerned about his yellow cards. But look at him, right? He's clear cut. He definitely can play as in the D role, right? In this role. So I'm gonna play Rincon here instead. Okay. And now we look at Baselli. Now Baselli's got a partner who's going to do a lot of the work. He's going to hold the position. Now we look at Rincon's additional marks opponent attack comes into about dives into tackle. So we're gonna have to be very careful with him. You gotta start paying attention to how he's playing. Now up top, playmaker runs. This guy is not bad. Runs with ball. So I got two options for a playmaker. One is a player that takes defenses on. Runs with ball to a center means he's going to dribble. He's going to take them on. He's going to go through the middle, and he gets into the opposition. Right? This is one kind of a playmaker. The other kind of a playmaker comes deep to get the ball against teams that don't want to come out and play. Maybe that might be a better use for the position, because then when he drops deep, right, he can play passes behind the lines. Yeah, there's no perfect tactic. Exactly. In fact, sorry, I just kicked my own camera. I'm still happy it's still there in one piece. That wasn't too sharp. Okay. When it comes to tactics, right, the basic thing you want to remember is this. Every tactic is not perfect, because no tactic is going to be perfect against every opponent's tactic, because they're all going to be different. So there are always going to be flaws in every single tactic. And then when you meet up and you play against another system, you might have issues. Okay, now we got wing back here. These are important positions. These are important, roles, players, positions. Okay, bravery 9. Rincon is a defend duty. Maybe it's not too bad, right? But I would still be very concerned with this player, because you do a transition, you got to pay attention to this guy. We're going to use wing backs first and see what happens. And chances are I'm gonna get my ass handed to me on a plate. Yeah, I have a very strong feeling my ass is about to get really, right. Okay, actually we go with Ralph. Gonna put Rincon, hard tag. But Rincon and Ralph in midfield could be another option, right? Got two very hard-working players. Well, we'll start with Rincon first. Okay, we'll go with Rincon and see what happens. Okay, so now the goal here is for us to see how this tactic flows and what we can do with it, right? Now you're playing against a 5-3-2. 5-3-2s are going to keep the possession of the ball for 90 minutes. They're not coming out. So we're going to have to take the game to them. So let's hope this works, man. Okay, opposition. Okay, what else can we do? We got prevent shot goalkeeper distribution, right? Since I'm top heavy, I might as well put all the pressure on these guys. The entire back line is now going to be forced into hurling the ball. See these two guys up top? 4-2-3-1's biggest weakness is these two players, because they got two strikers, you got two defenders, right? So we want to watch this game as it transpires. I don't think we're gonna win this. I hope we do, but we want to see transitions. Okay, who are we paying attention to? Now we're paying attention to things like how the playmaker is going to be crowded out, because oh wait, hang on, in this tactic the playmaker might not have a problem because there's space, right? So this tactic, the playmaker actually has space. In fact, he might create a few. There we go. Playmaker has space. See, the playmaker is dictating because there's no DM. Right, so let's keep an eye on our playmaker. Right, so our playmaker is here. Okay, playmaker still okay. Still got space. Look at that. He's got so much space. Rincon picks up the ball. We're putting a lot of pressure on their backline, right? So we're using OIs to force them into current clearances. Playmaker again has got time and plays on the ball, but they won't pass it to him. They go out wide. Okay, now question mark. I want to get my playmaker more involved, but the problem in the game is this: players have to find him at the pass first, right? They gotta be able to find him at the pass. We're already playing shorter and much lower tempo.
Muted.
Thank you. This is a Tiki Taka. I'm sorry I was muted. Yeah. So we're looking at the trans.
Muted.
Yeah, I just unmuted myself. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Azaris. So playmakers. The general problem with playmakers is this: they need space. You don't have space, you got to create space for them. And we're already on a very low tempo. Have you noticed that? Still no space. But can we make it better? Can we give him space? Can we help the playmaker out? The thing about playmakers in a 4-2-3-1 is if you really are going to push yourself to get a star playmaker to do his job, then you want him to drop people, right? And then hurl passes. Because he's always going to be in that position, like you see where Mate is right now. So all he does is link. So we have a two playmakers in this tactic, because you have to remember your playmaker in the middle is just going to be a hook in a 4-2-3-1, unless he's got exceptional dribbling skills and he can take players on. And even here we've done we just did the focus play through the middle instruction, which is one of the reasons why for the AP role I'm always going to recommend Shadow Striker or AMS. So you don't have a playmaker there where your attacks stall, right? In this tactic, I'm happier because we have a playmaker in a deeper position. So all the build-up play doesn't depend on that playmaker. If you had a playmaker there and everything depends on him, you might run into trouble. So you see what has happened. We've gone focus play to the middle and it's not really helping us out. Now, we were wide, remember? We were narrow at the start, which tells all our players to pass the ball inside. We're still struggling, right? We can't break teams down. So we want to create more space. So what we do is I take the players, I tell them to go further apart. Now when I go further apart, this passing instruction is not going to help me. I'll remove the dribble less. I have to go either standard or I have to go direct. Now what I'm doing is slightly different. Now I'm still playing the whatever Tiki Taka style that they have, but instead now I'm actually asking my players to be further apart so that we can pull the opposition apart as we build play up. Right? So all the time we are looking at the transitions from back to front. So that space opens up. Now I'm looking at something slightly different. Okay, that's not too bad. So we have to look at the 4-2-3-1 itself, right? And how to create the 4-2-3-1. So this is one, we're just using the presets. So I'm going to slowly morph this preset into something that makes a bit more sense, because I'm playing against a very defensive 5-3-2. So I need to stretch this 5-3-2 out. I need to draw them in. So I have to choose two options, right? Okay, the first option is I have to stretch them. I've stretched them already. Now I want to draw them in. Now I'm going to hit them with counter attacks down the line. I'm hoping it works. Okay. Undo this. I'm going to hit them with a counter. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give up the flanks. I'm not defending the flanks anymore. I'm going to remove the offside trap. Right. Much higher defensive line. Also very, very crazy. I hit this. Okay. But yeah, I'm removing this because this team is going to be quite expensive. I want my tactic to be expensive. I'm taking a few risks here, but yeah, I'm hoping this works. Hoping is a big word here. Okay. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm drawing them in. I'm hoping that when they come in, I hit them over the top, right? So I'm looking for the players that can hit them over the top. I'm going to remove this, right? Because there's no point focusing play through the middle. I don't want to do that. I'm going to hit the early cross before they can even settle. Okay, let's go. Wait, hold on. Where's the pitch now? Okay, go on. Okay, and one more change. What's wrong with this picture? If I wanted to hit them hard, I'm not going to get any love from anybody down the flanks. None of these are going to help me out. So this guy is like, who's attacking them, right? So I don't mind this guy because he's an inverted winger. Running from deep is going to create some problems. Yeah, this guy is coming this way. We've got wing back. Okay, maybe the wing back going down the flanks, attacking. Well, we'll see. I would personally prefer to have an attacking duty. I want to see how this plays out. Okay, so we're trying to put pressure. I'm hoping this works. Okay. Go on, guy, going down the flanks, and then gets into the box, and that's not too bad. Okay, but still, it's still very defensive. I mean, this is good, man. I'm playing against a Spal. Spal is a very defensive team. Again, now we're getting better chances now. All right. Okay, let's see. Come on, Spal. Look at that. Look at the space now with the wingbacks. The wingbacks are going, hey, we've got space now. The problem is our pressing style, right? So they play the ball, and we want to attack them quickly. So what we do now is hit them into space. Okay. And our tempo is slow, right? Why is my tempo intentionally slow? Because I want to build up attacks, right? If I want my attacks to be really fast, then it doesn't involve so many players, then I'll go higher tempo. But this is very different. This is still possession based. I'm trying to control the game, right? And I want to try and break them down. So you can see that the drop in what was it? The pressing instructions didn't really change our tactic very much, did it? Okay, so aggressive. I know I'm changing things around, so my boys are a bit confused. Okay, now let's do something different, right? Okay, see the AP and the AP and what is the other role? Okay, now we've drawn them in. Okay, all right. Okay, now I want to do something. Okay, enough of this Mickey Mouse shit. Okay, winger on attack. Wing back on support, no overlap. Done. Okay, winger on attack. We're going to say inverted winger is going to come this way. DLF on attack. Yep. All right, now I want to hit them hard. So I got a winger on attack. Now I have space, right? So I'm going to use the winger on attack to go forward. Got a wing back getting to the box. Then I got a winger on attack is further apart, further high up the pitch. So we're trying to create something different now. Remember this, have you noticed I'm not even looking at the playmaker right now, because the playmakers to me is just a hook. Right? He's not having such a big effect on the game. Even because when you play against a defensive team, your playmaker is just gonna vanish. So you can't depend on like trying to make the playmaker the star of the tactic. It's just not gonna work, right? So it's just we're getting better transitions, we're getting better attacks now, but our playmaker is not something I'm interested in anymore. Which is the reason why I say, whenever you play this 4-2-3-1, if your focus is on trying to make the AP role like look godlike, then you're probably gonna struggle. Right? You're probably gonna get very depressed very quickly. So my suggestion is play him on support. If he comes deep to get the ball, is good. If he's very good at dribbling and taking on players, is very good. But that player will have to have very good mentals like bravery, gets into opposition area, tries tricks. You have to have very good dribbling, agility, and balance. So you're not gonna find a lot of players who can do that. So far, but okay. I mean, I like the fact that we've created better chances now. And they go down the flanks. So every time they go down the flanks, we're looking to exploit them with attacks. Right? So you go down the flanks. What else can I do? All right. So now I've done this. Now I leave my tempo up. Now I don't waste too much time. Right? So we don't want to waste too much time with the ball. We go on wide, which is going to encourage us to use the flanks. In transition, we are countering, distributing quickly. Out of possession, we are not. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Very simple changes, right? So I've just taken the default 4-2-3-1, and all I'm doing is making small little changes. So we are inviting them to attack us down the flanks. We get the space on the flanks as a result of the invitation. Now, what if you wanted to do it slightly differently? You can. The playmaker, which is slightly more dangerous, is you invite them through the middle, which is you drop your line of engagement. Right? So now you're trying to win the ball in the middle, and the playmaker has your playmaker is the one that's going to be dictating the game. But unfortunately, that playmaker that's going to be doing that is not the AP, it's going to be the DLP. So you see how your playmaker can dictate play now. Yeah, he has to be in a deeper position for him to be able to dictate play. Otherwise, yeah. And if some people will play playmaker as attack duty now, we can try that playmaker on attack duty, right? So we go now, and we go advanced playmaker on attack. So you just attack the box. In that case, this guy, what we do with this player is ask him to roam. And if we can, yeah, ask him to roam. That's enough. Okay, so now we got a playmaker in the middle. He's gonna be, when you do APA, he will dribble, right? So he's gonna take the game on, and when he gets the ball, he's gonna just go into the box. He's gonna try and go into the box. Are we on? Yeah, we're on positive as well. So now the playmaker is now attacking the box. He's in the box. He's going to be more aggressive. So what we made small little changes to how the playmaker now is playing, right? And we are also doing on a higher tempo. Now we're not waiting for everybody to get into position to help us. So sometimes now the playmaker is going to try the more attacking approach, right? So he might not wait for the wing backs to come down the flanks. So you just watch what happens now. Your tempo is going to be your tempo is faster, but players might go, okay, you go, Rincon is going to go forward, plays it to Verdi's just going to go for the box. He doesn't look, he doesn't wait, he doesn't see the wing back on his right, he doesn't want to play the wing back in. That's because now the tempo is increasing the urgency for the players, so they attack the box. So you can see how the 4-2-3-1, right, with different kinds of instructions will play slightly differently, right? You're gonna move the emphasis of the game slightly by changing your team instructions. And I can see this is just one tactic. The one tactic, we didn't change role, we just changed, we did change one of the roles and duties, but we didn't change too many things, did we? Right. So if you a playmaker that roams like a trequartista, then you play a trequartista. I prefer a trequartista in that position than a playmaker, because a trequartista at least will draw all the way back into midfield, right? So let's take a look at this, right? But the problem with trequartista is, ooh la la, trequartista. The problem with track is the high CA, man. You gotta find a player with the attributes and current ability to play that role. Not many players, but I would personally go with track. My choices for the AP position are going to be AP. Okay, if I wanted to play, I'll probably be a lot of attack duties, right? So APS is just a hook. That's all he does. He just hooks. Sometimes he's not a passing option at all. Right? He's like, hey guys, guess what? You know, I'm here. If you can pass it to me, fine. Can't pass it to me, look for somebody else. Now, that's APA. APS, sorry. APA, at least, you know, you might get him attacking the box, and we might see him driving into the box if he gets to the ball, but you know, it won't happen all the time, because still they have to find him with the pass. So players have to actually bring the ball to him, which is really sickening. Okay. Then finally, what other roles are left? So my favorite roles are going to be Shadow Striker, AMS if I'm looking for the possessions. Okay, when do you use an S? Use an S duty. Forget the roles, just use S duty whenever you want to create a possession-centric system. Meaning, you're looking at keeping the ball instead of like building dynamic attacks through the middle and that kind of stuff. You use an A when you want to attack through the middle. You want the player in the middle to be a dangerous player, right? So you want the AM slot to be a dangerous player. That's when you play with a A. And what A duties? You got A roles. You got Shadow Striker, Tricotista, APA, and AMA. Which is my first choice. Most of the time, Shadow Striker. Ow, my ear hurts. Most of my time, I like Shadow Striker. Because Shadow Striker will arrive late into the box, the premium is not very high. I can probably find lots of players who can play Shadow Strikers. And you can use a lot of converted AMs. APA, difficult. Vision, decisions, flare. Not a lot of players can play the role. I mean, you can see we did create some chances. I mean, yeah, but I would look at those players. So both teams actually had a lot of chances, right? So we got, this is Torino, 3 chances. Andre Belotti with the first chance. How did this happen? So we got this way. Look at it. This is that a playmaker is just hanging about, right? He's holding the position. Then we've got another one here. This was a corner, so let's ignore this, right? Corners are just bad chances. Then we got another one. He missed the penalty? Oh, he scored a penalty. Thought he missed the penalty. And we got this player. Who's this? Verdi. Verdi is quite talented. And it goes in. Yeah, this is a half chance. It's still a decent chance. So that's one way of approaching the playmaker. Okay, so we got the first tactic. So we created this. Now let's try different versions of the 4-2-3-1, right? This could be a very fun day for me. Hello, Tommy. How are you, man? Welcome to the stream. So another one, we'll now create another 4-2-3-1, and this is for you, Ryan. Okay, Tricotista. You all have a Tricotista as roaming, right? This guy's gonna drop. Once you have a Tricotista, good luck to defending. You know this place is not gonna be doing a lot of work, but you'll be surprised that the Tricotista still closes down players. Okay, so what are we gonna do with this guy? Whenever you have a Tricotista roaming, you want him to roam into the box too. So you choose a role here that roams or moves into channels. So we got DLF on attack. That's not too bad, right? So we can ask him to roam. Let's do a bit more of a roam, right? Okay. Now, same 4-2-3-1. We won't change it too much. Inside forward, inverted winger. This guy can run at defenses very nice. But we'll change this guy to a winger. Winger because he will give us options down the flanks. Wingback, now you know how I feel about this, right? Wingbacks can give you a lot of problems. Okay, we can go with a fullback on attack. No, fullback on support. I'm not a big favor of 2 attack duties on the same flank because then you got 2 gets further forward at every single opportunity. What you can do now is give him an overlap. We want a positional influence that he can have, or better still, we're not going to use that. We're going to go all Trent Alexander-Arnold on this team. We're going to go inverted wingback. This guy is going to drive this way. It means this guy has got a lot of work to do. This guy has got a lot of work to do. They got to defend like crazy, right? Okay, so we got inverted wingback going this way. This is the Trent Alexander-Arnold effect. They got inverted winger coming in for deep. We got this guy roaming about, distribute center backs, distribute quickly, hold shape. We won't hold shape. Okay. We want to hit teams quickly in the transition. They don't hold shape. If you're very patient, okay, we can do it this. We go for the patient approach. Counter press, hold shape. This is the patient approach, right? This is patient. This is extremely patient. This is too patient for my liking. Okay, but still patient. Okay, so much shorter. Patient. Dribble less. Patient. Yeah, we'll remove the dribble. Okay, let's remove this. Just play this and let's go expansive. When you play without the offside trap, you're creating what is called an expansive expansive system. Meaning, you're not using compression to beat players. You're not trying to make the back area unplayable, and you're not pushing your players forward, all the time. So sometimes it's a good idea if you don't have a very good team. Much higher line of engagement. Okay, we want now to play a slightly different game. I'm going to go on a losing streak very soon, right? We're changing tactics. I mean, this is like the first thing we don't do, change tactics all the time. But hell, we'll do it for the safe. Okay, so what are we doing here? 50-50. We don't want to take too many chances. Okay, we're going to use OIs to help us out. Okay, shorter passing. Yeah, they're going to keep the ball a lot. So what's going to happen is these players are the key players now. Direct passing. direct passing. Okay, we'll tell them to do the direct passing, right? So we got 2 players doing direct passing. Okay, we've gone with okay. Hey, I'm not a big fan of this, so it can be used. It's just that when you do the kickoff, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know which of these players goes out to do the closing down. That's the reason why I don't like it. So one of those makes me very nervous kind of instructions. But we'll do it again. We'll see what happens in the next game, and then we'll adjust accordingly. Which is how we've been doing all this anyway. So we want all right, let's try. Okay, let's go for all the attack duties here. Okay, all right, go for all the attack duties. We go for APA first. Should be fun. APA, wing on attack, inverted wingback coming this way. This guy's got a lot of work to do. This guy's got he's gonna bring the ball out. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, all right. Inverted wingback is very. I like the inverted wingback role. It's a lot of fun. It's one of the. You like it? It's the best role in the game for you. Yeah, I stopped using it because people started accusing me of cheating. Can you believe it? YouTube comments I got. Twitter I got. Why do you think I removed DMs? I only accept DMs now from friends. There's one time I went and left my DMs open and I started getting abused. Like, yeah, you know the inverted wingback is a cheat role. I'm like, dude, the game is a cheat. Like, to each his own, eh? What makes you happy makes me happy. Life is too short to hold a grudge, man. Okay, so I just have fun. Okay, Enkolu, jumping reach is 13. Izo's jumping reach is what? 12. Oh, dear Lord. Lianko. Guys, this Lianko is not a bad defender. Miliko, who are you? I like your name. But unfortunately, not that good. Okay, Bremer, Zaza. Zaza is a striker, right? We want this guy to drop, this guy to attack. So do we have any other options to attack the box? Okay, let's try something else, right? Falke is unregistered for some strange reason because he's not here. Ederia, this guy, I did a training test. This guy, I didn't play him. He got like 40 attribute gains without me playing him, which just goes to show you that there is this game is pretty easy when it comes to training, right? You won't get a penalty. Okay, we got Berenga, we got Miliko. What does he bring to the table? Gets forward and also runs the ball, so he's gonna dribble 15. Okay, we'll see what happens. Okay, all right. So we got Miliko attacking the box. Muppets. That's exactly the word for them, man. Yeah, I know. Can you believe it? Darkseid, I got accused of it being a cheat tactic. Can you believe it? Come on the stream and say it's a cheat tactic. I'm like, what the? Well, you know, it's okay. It's all right. We have a life. Okay, so what are we gonna do now? We're gonna do something different. Okay, so we're gonna close them now. We're gonna get stuck in. So we're gonna create a block on this team. I don't even know if it's gonna work. My head says don't do it because we should be controlling the match against Alexandria. But we want to see what happens. Okay, there we go. The first part of the block. Okay, ball goes out. Notice one thing. When you have that low tempo and you play like direct passes, you're still waiting for support, right? So when you want to create that counter-attacking kind of like direct attacks, like let's get the ball into the box, let's do it quickly. You don't want to do that. You only do this when you are comfortable in the knowledge that your team can control the game. You can camp yourself in the opposition third and you can just take your time and go, okay, we'll move the ball around patiently and we'll try and probe an opportunity. Very much what City do, right? So that's what you're going to be doing. So you're probing, you're looking for opportunities. So let's look at our tactics again. Okay, so this is what we've got. Low tempo, shorter. So the passes are going to be simple, short, and sweet, right? Okay. Shift it. More direct. Keep the low tempo. I'll go wide now. What was my plan anyway? My plan was to draw them and hit them over the top, right? But well, let's see what happens here now. Okay. So what we're doing now is waiting for others to come into support. Direct passing, which are longer passes. Okay. and still play on a low tempo. So now essentially we're doing the same thing, right? But actually now we've told our players, okay guys, spread it out, right? Stretch this team out, look for opportunities. So this will allow players like my APA more space as well to drive at teams. So all we do is we pay attention to our transitions, right? So far it's okay, right? We're not fantastically doing, but this is like a heavy possession 4-2-3-1. So all we do is we drive. Look at our APA on the flank, right? That's because of the throw in. So all we do is drive. We just take the ball back. Okay, never mind. They've got a low line of standard line of engagement. Again, there we go. Building up play again. We got support coming in. Yeah, play it back again. And patiently probing to create a goal scoring opportunity. That's like a 4-2-3-1, right? So you again, now the idea here is it's a team game, right? So our APA was trying to play a through ball, but we had support. I think, who was that who played the supporting ball in there? Inverted wingback support. The playmaking fullback. Right, so look out for the inverted wingback now to play a very big role in this tactic. Well, because we got CM on defense, we got the Trent Alexander-Arnold. I call this the TAA effect. I wrote about it's coming up in the byline. It's a short article. So you see where the inverted wingback is gone? It's gone right here. Look out for his positioning. So we can create the TAA effect. It makes your APA a stronger goal scoring threat now as well, because you've got another play. If you have the player who can play as a playmaking fullback, then you're gonna have a lot of fun with this setup. It's one of my favorite 4-2-3-1s because that was our APA, or was it our trequartista? I forgot what role did we give him. APA. Okay. Well, we were supposed to do something else. I forgot to do. This is called the when you don't do prevent shot goalkeeper distribution. We're gonna remove prevent shot because this is not one of my favorite instructions in the whole game. Okay, now we're doing something different. Okay, we are gonna use OIs. Now OIs are essentially the Jose Mourinho way of marking. That's the best way for me to explain it. Essentially what happens is when Mourinho does his team specific marking, he tells players to pick up a play when they enter his zone. That's what OIs do. So if you say tight marking, the moment you identify a player as to be tight mark, the moment the ball goes to him or he enters your zone, they'll pick him up. So if you, depending on how compressed your tactic is and how aggressive your pressing instructions are, you might end up in a situation where we might have a 2-on-1. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do the same thing to their fullbacks, right? I think we've not done the fullbacks yet. Okay, so you press the fullbacks. We tight mark the fullbacks, and you see the effect now. So they'll be on their shoulder all the time. Verdi, Baselli, that's our playmaker. Look at where the players are going to be positioned after this. That is our playmaking fullback. This variation of the 4-2-3-1, hey Jahid, is my favorite variation. It's also not the easiest one to pull off. Why? Because you need a really good first you need a very good DM. Then you will need inverted wingback that's got very good acceleration. Don't do this with an inverted wingback who's got 13 acceleration or 12 acceleration. Then you're in trouble. Because you want him to be you also want him to come back into defense really quickly. Now we have him as on an overlap. So when the opportunity presents itself, he'll take the overlap. So we're using players to spread the game out. So we got players who are spreading the game out, and our attacking playmaker makes late runs into the box. Yeah, hopefully we don't concede a goal. All right, what have we got now? We got as they're building up an attack, and I come out the highlight. Okay, there we go, a playmaker. Saw that I mean, it was only a short moment. We saw my playmaker doing a great pass out to the flanks. So, so the challenge with making that playmaker position work is, I believe that if you play a S duty, you're creating a hook. That player then becomes more like a player for others to use to move around him. So the playmaker won't really do much. If you want a role that is attacking the space, then you need to have a duty, like an attack duty, like a trequartista, attacking playmaker, a shadow striker. These are my three favorites, and then you can use trequartista. So we'll change this role now. There's not much time, right? I don't think there's going to be a major difference in the way they play. So let's go. Notice, why did that happen? Yeah, I want you to look at this again, right? This transition. Watch it, right? The moment the ball goes to the defender, watch this, right? Remember that why I just gave my team? This is the OI taking effect. That's the OI I have on him, which is tight mark, hard tackle. Pressing. So the moment he entered the zone where there were two players picked him up. This is 100 times better sometimes than pressing or prevention of goalkeeper distribution. I'm not a big fan. I don't really like prevention of goalkeeper distribution. If you notice, I don't really use it a lot. I prefer OIing the death out of a team. And the best OI is the one especially when you have these three-man defenses, right? They keep the ball a lot. Why do you think SI doesn't want to go out there and fix that? There's nothing wrong with the tactics, because they were playing against a team that's playing on a back five. They can't even play the ball out of the back because our strikers are not giving them time on the ball. I mean, it's not a phenomenal result, but you know, yeah, it's still, they didn't get to play football at all. So we got this tactic and the second tactic, right? So we created a 4-2-3-1 in, there are so many ways. We just used, interestingly enough, all I've done is use the presets, right? But we've just changed a couple of the roles around, right? So we got inverted wing back, we got ball playing defender, we got AP attacking, got DLF dropping back, we got winger giving us the width. Now let's make it slightly different. Higher tempo, go a bit wider. Now this is going to be more challenging. Shorter passing, wider. Players are wider apart. So now we're depending. Now you see the tactic might fall apart, because now we are entirely dependent on some of these players playing their passes well. Otherwise, we're in trouble. So yeah, okay. So the 4-2-3-1, you got to worry about the flanks. You can use wing backs, or you can use fullbacks on an overlap. But the reason why the instructions in the game go fullback, wing back without the overlap is because you can get support up. It's a wing back. But if you play a fullback now without the overlap, he'll run out of support very quickly. So the DLP is going to have to do a lot of work on his own. So we're going to see the effect now without with just fullback. Do we have any questions at the moment? I'm sorry. And I do want to apologize to everybody who was doing a fantasy or was expecting a fantasy draft this weekend. I wasn't feeling so hot, so I didn't do the fantasy draft. But if you guys are keen on a fantasy draft competition, say after this, sound me out. Okay, all right. Okay, here we go. Simple. We'll quick pick again. We're quick picking. I'm not even looking at bothering with the players right now. I just want to see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens with this tag thing. Okay, here we go. Once again, you know, you can always pop in onto the Twitch live stream chat if you feel like it, right? If you ask questions, right? Okay, everybody wants to do this to us now. Look at this. That's why I love Syria. Everybody wants to be defensive. Okay, opposition instructions. What do we do to this backline? Condemn this backline with all kinds of problems. We tight mark this guy and we press him. We tight mark this guy and we press him as well. So when they get the ball, we put them under pressure. The goalkeeper, we're just not going to give him any time. Right. Hopefully this works. The number of times I said it. Because when I play a role on automatic, the only thing I have to worry about is his mentality, and the mentality is gonna match the team mentality. And if wow, that was a great goal, man. That was a great goal. We just got nailed. So because I can get like a wing back on attack, right? And I can wing back attacks don't they stay wide. They don't. You can't tell them to cross from deep, right? But I can get wing back on auto. Take all the wing back on attack, like get further forward and all the other stuff. I can stick him in as a PI, and then I can get him to cross from deep. So that's what happens with a wing back on auto. So I can do things and we can perform as close to that wing back as possible and get the same thing. So what have we got? Okay, not too bad. The players fell asleep at the wheel just now. Bit disappointed. Bit disappointed that we fell asleep at the wheel, but still looking okay. I'm now only paying attention to the trequartista and his transitions. That's all I want to see. The trequartista and his transitions. Right. Okay, trequartista, where are you? Okay, let's find a trequartista. Who's the trequartista? I think it's still Berengue. That is it. It's him. Okay, so we're gonna see him perform. Wait, is he a trequartista? Why is he on the left? Milico Berengue, correct. Okay. Ball goes wide. Did we give them the flanks? No, we didn't. But we're playing a standard line of engagement, so we're drawing. Shoot me. We're not supposed to use prevention or goalkeeper distribution. We were not meant to use that. I distinctly said I'm not going to use it, right? So I forgot to take it off. Because I want to use the OIs to apply pressure on the backline. Instead, what I ended up doing is messing with my shape. Oh, the other thing is, remember what I said earlier about your inverted wingback having to have very good acceleration? Now we are playing with a guy who's got relatively poor acceleration, and you look at the amount of space he has to cover. So he's struggling, and the ball playing defender is being pulled out of position all the time. This is the reason why when you want to play with when you want to use an inverted wingback and a 4-2-3-1, it's very, very important to find the right kind of inverted wingback. Yeah, you can play a trequartista with a pressing forward and support, or basically a support duty that vacates the space, right? So you want to have a role in front that doesn't stay in the box to give the trequartista a chance to arrive late in the box. So if you come inside here we got DLF on support. Also will probably do the same thing as I've told him to roam. Yeah. But the difference here is he holds up. Yeah, he holds up the ball, right? Yeah, holds up the ball. So he might, idea here is he holds up the ball for the track. The track will take it off him. So we now got to extend the highlights to see more highlights. That's, you see what has happened, right? We were playing those passes and the guy can't get to those passes. Shorter. Okay, we're gonna go now direct. slightly lower tempo. They're too wide. No. I want to get goals. So, standard. Not too wide because I saw the player struggling to reach the ball. Mixed passing for the whole team. Tempo slightly higher. Okay, let's see if this works. We're also drawing. We're still playing with that low line engagement where we draw the team in and we try to win the ball back, which isn't exactly working very well for us at the moment. You see my 6.4 on the inverted wing back. Big difference. So what it means that I better not use him as an inverted wing back because we're just getting clobbered by him. Right? He's having to do too much, and he's not playing that role well. So the lack of acceleration on that player is costing me the whole game. So I have to change his role because it doesn't fit. He's not good enough. So say the wrong thing again. But this is something to bear in mind when you want to use the inverted wingback. The inverted wingback is a great role, but if you don't have the player for it, you can get into a lot of trouble trying that role out. So Trequartista is all over the pitch. Have we tried Trequartista as striker and AME? The one in the Trequartista as a striker. That's a good question. Okay. I have. It doesn't work so well because the Trequartista, when he's the only one and he doesn't have to drop back, then he just stays in the box. I've tried it a few times. It doesn't really work very well. I think the Trequartista works better as a lone striker when there's no AM. When there's an AM, then because if there's no AM, the Trequartista drops deep. But when there's an AM, the Trequartista doesn't have to drop deep because there's already somebody there. So it doesn't really work very well. That's what I've found. Yay, we got our equalizer. But what have we done? We changed our passing style. We went our tempo that was slightly higher. Now we don't wait for everybody to get into the box. We were some players to get in the box. So this is how tempo actually works in the game. Well, we're still playing terribly, but at least we managed to pull goal back with all our experiments. Yeah, look at that track. He's not playing well. 6.4. 6.5. At least now he's playing a bit better. Okay, what do we do? Okay. 6.5, 6.5. You see the white players now. They're only starting to play a bit better now. Hey, Daniel Del Piano, how are you, man? I have a big question for help. Why can't I make the inside forward attack work? Any help? Inside forward attack should be able to work. I mean, an inside forward attack is gonna be like a striker, right? So you can't make him arrive in the box. You have to create overloads for him to be attacking the position. So it means that you can't expect him to bring the ball into the box. He's got to be in the box waiting to score, right? Or just has to take one or two steps like this guy is doing right now, right? So you have to create the overload. That means you have to find a way to switch the ball. You might have to go direct. You might have to put playmakers on one side and the inside forward attacking that side. You got inverted wingers on this side. Then he's attacking that space. That's how you get the inside forward to score a lot of goals. No, nobody else, man. Awful. They have a few, right? But not anyone is playing it like TA at the moment. No one else in the world is playing it like Trent Alexander-Arnold. We don't see. There was like that German player was doing Kimmich. Was it Kimmich? I think so. Kimmich for a while was doing that. But that was when Guardiola was there. Well, he managed to come back and salvage a point. Okay, so you can see the differences, right, at the moment, right? Okay, we got track here. We got DLF on the support. Now we have AP here as well. Okay, Shadow Striker and DLFS is actually quite sweet. This is a very good combination, but Shadow Strikers tend to be very aggressive. So if you want to go attacking playmaker on attack, this is one way. The other one is a Trequartista. Here you can go orthodox wingback. You got two players now giving you a lot of width, right? But here what has happened is this. we can actually change this role to inside forward attack. Now, earlier, what I was hoping to get as a question was that Verdi was coming like this, right? Winger on attack, ball is on the left flank. You did all the build up on the left flank. Whatever role you choose here is going to go into the box. Whether it's a winger on attack or an inside forward attack, they will both behave the same way. They'll both attack the space. If I had chosen inside forward attack, same thing would have happened. If I chosen winger on attack, same thing would have happened. So we created Verdi was coming in from the right side. So sometimes if you want him to score going in like that, you want him to come in on his favorite foot. That means if he's on the right, he's got to come in on his left foot. If he's on the left, he wants to come in on his right foot. So Verdi was coming in just now from the right side. What foot was he using? Either foot, okay. So this guy should score. Finishing is 12, composure is 13. Soft the ball is 13, it's not too bad. So this is how I get the so now I've created an overload here. DLP, this is basically three players who are relatively creative, except this guy's going to attack the box. So you got these two waiting to unlock this player. But what did we do? Slightly different was this. Okay, that's it. Standard, higher. You can play counter press, counter, and whole shape. Doesn't really matter. Whole shape is more Pep Guardiola. You have a possession. So we just taken a 4-2-3-1 and just made it like this using the default things. But here this is a much more controlled 4-2-3-1. Inverted wingback can come in this way. Attacking playmaker can attack the middle. You can this guy can be an attacking playmaker, can be a shadow striker, can be AMA, can be a trequartista. Right. Downside of trequartista may not tackle. So we are now, so that in a nutshell are the various ways we can play with what's that roll call again? We can play a 4-2-3-1. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. Yeah, Kimmich played as a playmaker, inverted wingback under Pep Guardiola. He was really good in that role. Philipp Lahm was another one as well. So Kimmich and Philipp Lahm. So you can see, I still remember Philipp Lahm used to push him in as like a play more, but Philipp Lahm was more like a hold that fort kind of player. So time for some questions, man. What about a winger? Okay, so we done that. Julius, how would you go about making the striker the first scoring option in a 4-2-3-1? Ooh la la. Pressing forward and attack. Okay. Now, if I wanted to do the first scoring option, first, let's talk about the 4-2-3-1 in general. Okay. In that case, you want him to be like the focal point of the attacks. So he's got to have an attack duty. That's the first thing. The second thing is you want him to be the one that gets the ball most of the time, right? People are driving into the box looking for him. You're looking at wingers to give you the width on one side of the pitch to pull defenders away so that the striker has more space in the box. So what you want to do is you want to create a tactic like very much like what we did. Maybe the winger, maybe a winger on support, or even a winger on attack, right? Same tactic, but change him to a pressing forward on attack or complete forward attack. And the guy in the middle is a support duty now. So you are creating the space for him. Okay, we'll try that. But now AP, I will go with the AMS on attack, right, for the next game. We'll try and see whether that can be done. Pressing forward attack. But in this case, I'm going to go advance forward. Because what we're doing here is we are creating a system where we want one player to bomb down the flanks. We are a winger on support, advance forward. We're looking for him attacking the spaces. Maybe we can also use AP. Can use the AP on support, but problem is he's got to be able to create space. If he has got gums deep to get the ball, it'd be good. Go Trequartista. Okay, we go Trequartista. Yeah, we go Trequartista. Okay, we got wingback. Wingback on support, CMD. Overlap the right. No, we don't do overlap the right. We got fullback on support. We'll do the overlap the left. Okay. Let's do cross aim far. And we'll swing this one to the far side as well. Why am I choosing far post? I'm aiming for the spaces where the inverted winger and the winger are gonna be. Right. Okay, so we go standard, higher tempo, fairly wide, cold shade counter press, higher defensive line. And that's it. Let's see what happens in 13 days. We might get an ass handed to me on a plate, but you want to make him the focal point. So in that tactic we just created, I got advanced forward running for, I got a winger looking for crosses for him, I got another guy looking for crosses for him. So I'm going to be playing a lot of early balls into space for him. So I'm hoping that he attacks those balls, gets ahead of those balls. Once a team is settled into a defensive shape, I don't think it's going to get a lot of goal scoring opportunities. So we either draw teams in and then we hit them quickly on the break and then hoping that the advanced forward gets a way to score goals. So that's how you make him the focal point. If using a Trequartista up front and attacking midfield, going to need a support role, right? Yeah, you might need a support role. For who? On the flank or for the guy in the middle? If you're using a Trequartista up front, he's going to drop deep and he's going to arrive in the box. I'm using a... If you use an AM as support, your track may not always drop deep. He's going to be like a second striker. Yeah, your thinking isn't far off. It's probably the best way of doing it. Yeah, you need a very good striker. You need a striker who's got very good anticipation, acceleration, concentration. Otherwise, he's always going to be offside. But it's a simple 4-2-3-1. But you can make it even more effective, right? Okay, let's try something different, right, for this next save. You may make a 4-2-3-1 that does not want to be too attacking, but instead just wants to plonk balls behind an attacking team for our advanced forward to get off and try and score goals. So let's use the 4-2-3-1 again and make a version that's slightly different. The counter-attacking 4-2-3-1, if that makes any sense. Okay. Okay, these guys will be positioned higher up the pitch, right? Okay, right. So direct. Direct. Okay, so they're gonna look for this hoof a lot. They're gonna hoof the ball up a lot. No nonsense central defense. I don't want to have everybody hoofing the ball up. So okay, that's enough. That's enough. There's no point getting ahead of yourself. I'm talking to myself here, okay? So I'm not talking to you guys. Okay, this is it. This is the big gamble we're taking against Napoli. But it's just one way. But it's how I would play it, right? If I had the players for it. Okay, so what do we have? Lienko, Izzo, Silvestri, who I just wish this player was a bit more robust in the challenge. But Rincon doesn't play complicated passes. He's just a... Think about Rincon. Rincon never plays those important passes that I like to see playmakers make. Mete, I think he might get... Oh, that's too dangerous. Runs with ball through the center. But yeah, we'll try that play out. There's a Trequartista. This is a very Guardiola Mourinho style of play. All I'm missing is PIs. Opposition player come back defend. We gotta try and get the same effect with OIs. Okay, so Yeah, this is a very Guardiola, very not very adventurous kind of setup. Yeah, so we're just hoping to hoof one over the top and just go and score goals, right? What we need is all I need is Didier Drogba in my team, and then we're sorted. Okay, all right, we're gonna do this back line. Everybody in the back line. The striker is gonna be told to do one thing and one thing only. Just pay attention to this player. So these guys are tight marked as well. All right. This is Fabian, right? Fabian, is he a playmaker? Passing vision decisions probably is. We're gonna show him the wrong foot. If he has a wrong foot, otherwise we're in trouble. Yeah, he doesn't have a wrong foot, so don't bother. Why? He's got a left foot and a right foot. If he's got a right only, then you do it. The Zielinski, either foot, we're in trouble. Douglas Costa, in trouble. Lawrence, yeah, he definitely has got 2 feet. Okay, so all these players have got 2 feet, so you don't want to show wrong foot. No point. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if we can do something with this. Once again, we're gonna see comprehensive. I see what happens, and I don't want to make any change. I'll see what happens, right? I have a theory in my head. This could work. It could be a bit more defensive. We might not create a lot of chances. We're looking at hitting balls over the top and getting away to score goals. So, yeah. What else do we have in this? I wouldn't. You could make it even more like aggressive in the sense that you could have like play with defensive with narrow. They come down your flanks and you hit one over the top straight away. Wingback just gave up all that space. Ay. Doesn't okay. Still positive mentality, maybe. Yeah. So it's very like everyone's gonna track back. Everyone's gonna come back. They'll tight mark the fullbacks as they get the ball, but when they attack, yeah, you see a wingback going like crazy. That's because he's got get further forward. No wonder. So all we do is this. That's it. We hope to create chances. Now we're going down the line. Our players are too aggressive. Okay, let's just drop the mentality of balance. This is how I make counter-attacking tactics. Okay, and still keep possession of the ball. Basically, the ultimate. Like I feel like I'm cheating, but yeah, yay! Almost got a goal there. And then we go, come on, mate, plays the ball out. And then we got advanced what playing it back. Why he did that, I have no idea. Oh yeah, because you're balanced. Okay, that's it. It's offside. So it's a simple counter-attacking tactic now. Yeah. Good block. Wing back. Got soul. Right. I don't think we have tight marking on him. Did we put time? I don't think we put time marking on the wider players. So they skinned him because of attributes. So we got more defensive 4-2-3-1. Not too bad. Yeah, simple. We've only got one route, right? We're not playing very how do I put this? We're not playing very aggressively. So we're being very smart about how we use the ball. And we got one, we have one, I think we have a trequartista in this system, right? We're trying to be very heroic with the way we use our roles and duties. Seriously. Things I do on this, the things I do for Football Manager. We're playing trequartista. I love this game, man. Yeah, we're probably gonna lose this game. I'm not expecting any fireworks in this game, in this match. I'm holding my hands because I don't make any changes. See this? I'm holding my hands, literally praying as well. Oh yeah, we didn't set our set pieces up. If you want to go pure Jose Mourinho, you have to do your set pieces. You have to do your set pieces. I don't know how many times I've stressed this. You don't do your set pieces right, you're not gonna do well in this game. And that means like at least 3 blockers in your set piece defending instructions. 2 at the edge of the area. We've got very good anticipation and concentration, anticipation and acceleration, and you just need to have 3 players marking in the penalty area. But the default instructions are different. The default instruction: don't place a player on the far post. And this is one time the default instructions really saved our ass. Look at that. They're so unimaginative. All we want to do is hit them when they come in. We had 2 shots. We've been quite defensive with our 4-2-3-1. That's it. It's a very, very low scoring system. But then we got to be worried about all this then. Do we make any changes? I mean, we should see our own players. Ooh, Belotti. Could have scored. I can't see my players. So we kept our positions instead of prevention. Look at that. He's tracking. Can you see that? So the moment he entered his zone, he started tight marking him. But he couldn't vacate that position because the position now, he couldn't leave and go back because there was another player in the zone. That's why he has to stay in his position. Now this could be due to the fact that this guy is, I think is he on an attack? No, he's on support duty. You gotta look at his teamwork, his work rate, and his marking as well. Because according to SI, sometimes when a player doesn't track by help you defend, you gotta look at the marking instructions as well. Or marking attributes rather. Because marking attributes also play a part in whether a player comes back and actually marks a player effectively, even for an attack, even for wingers. Yay. Okay, defensively we're doing okay, man. Belotti, with all the time in the world. Okay, so who do we have to take off? Vincenzo, Milico. Who do we have? Berenger, I don't know who you are, but you can come in and play. Belotti is playing okay. But Zaza is better in the air, I think. Yeah. Zaza for Belotti. And there we go. Saw that? This is what you'll see with an advanced forward in your tactic. But the advanced forward has to be able to do the run early. There we go. And then, you know, these kind of things can happen. But that's your tactic. That's how you can make a player the focus of your tactic. But here, because we are playing with 2 wingbacks on defense, right? We don't want them to be too adventurous. So I've created what is like a more counter-attacking 4-2-3-1. I don't want to give up too much space, so I've used the roles and duties, and I've used the opposition instructions to get the effect that I want. We don't know if this is going to work. We're hoping it works because I'm still biting my nails. One of the reasons why I don't like to play these kind of systems. Because if I play with these kind of systems, I probably won't have any nails left. And my wife will kill me the next day. She will like, what the hell happened to your nails? I was playing Football Manager. Can you stop playing that game now? Your birdie's on a yellow card. Right. Marking, when you want to play this kind of a game, and you see that, you take him off. Either you take him off or you better be ready to see your entire right flank get overrun. So we can't take him off because I don't have any other players. So you want to play this kind of a game, you got to be prepared to make substitution changes very, very quickly. So yeah, I never said it was going to be an exciting game. I said it was going to be a defensive game. So this is a much more defensive game, right? So we are putting pressure on their back line when they get the ball. They tight mark, they track. Okay. So passing numbers, the passing options go running up. There, look at that. Even this guy was tracked. Even the fullback was tracked by at that point in time, he actually tracked him, right? So they couldn't even pass the ball to him. So you're playing with a form of tight marking now. And it's a very defensive system. The wingbacks only get involved like this when they go on camping, which is something I didn't want them to do anyway, but I don't know why they're doing it. It's because I'm on the lowest mentality. If I was Jose Mourinho, I'd be yelling at my team. So yeah, and simple wing back. It's probably got gets further forward, gets forward whenever possible as a trade. Hey, they bought ourselves a corner. So this is how I would make him the focus of my tactic. But I wanted also to show you how I would make a counter-attacking variation of the 4-2-3-1. And we made a counter attack. Now what would I do sometimes with this kind of setups, right? Is I'll run at defenses in the final third, but that I want a counter-attacking system, so that would be a bit add a level of risk to the system that I wasn't prepared to take. So our Torino team is still going strong in the Serie A. Not bad. I was expecting to get annihilated by Napoli. No prevention of goalkeeper distribution, but they start putting pressure on them, and that's it. A ball draw. Perfect Mourinho. A perfect advertisement for Mourinho football. Perfectly good example of Mourinho style football. And I'm very happy with their performance. So yes, we've done, but this is wingback defend, CM defend with using a Trequartista and an advanced forward. Only attacking focus is the two of them going through the middle. We had our opportunities. The track dropped deep. He didn't really do a lot he didn't create a lot of chances because we had chances that he created. Let's check it out, right? Let's see if we created any chances. I'm curious as well. Let's see if we created. Let's look at players. Passes first. We'll see whether we got key passes. So we played him, Moite. He made 2 key passes. This is our Trequartista, his first key pass. Important to realize we didn't create a lot of goal scoring opportunities, but our Trequartista played 2 long passes from deeper areas. So there's our Trequartista. That's our Trequartista. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. That's 1 pass. Now this is our second pass from the Trequartista. Trequartista, where's he? There, he's here. Drop into this position. Then play that pass. So on a whole, I would say that he actually played quite well. You're looking for these kind of things to tell you whether or not it's worth keeping that role. I like the Trequartista. That's why I say the 3 roles that you want, you really like in a 4-2-3-1 are going to be attack duty roles. Shadow striker, if you're looking for a punch from the middle who just focuses on scoring goals, right? You don't want a tactic that spends too much time, building up play. Shadow striker, pressing forward support. You want somebody who can drop deep and occasionally go forward. You need to play with good work rate, vision, passing, decisions, flair, dribbling. Trequartista. Another option, if you can play a track, you can play an APM, right? You can play APA, attacking playmaker. Yeah, but it wasn't pretty, man. It was not meant to be pretty. That last 4-2-3-1, which goes back to the old the thing about 4-2-3-1s. A 4-2-3-1 is capable of producing defensive football and very boring football. This is very boring football. Does his job, keeps the ball, and just looks for these 2 guys to hit them on the counter. So I'm waiting to see which one of you turns this on me in another fantasy. Yeah, every time we do this kind of sessions, I get a tactic coming back to bite me on the ass in a fantasy cup. But I'm waiting for this. Is one of the reasons why we do these shows, guys. So do you guys have any questions? I think for the first teamers, we're gonna do something slightly different. I think I'm gonna do the first team talk, right? We're gonna do team talk first teamers. I'm gonna focus the tactical replication on Bayern Munich with the first team, right? So we're gonna build the Bayern Munich tactic with the first team for your team talk this year. This not this week, next week, this Friday. I think this Friday we'll do FM team talk replicating Bayern Munich. Okay, so if you have no questions, I want to thank everybody for coming in on today's stream. You guys were absolutely fantastic. You guys, please take care, stay healthy, stay safe. Hope you have fun in the next couple of days. So you guys take care. Bye bye.